Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? I'm your host, Masses32210, and we're on a little adventure today to go pick up a new project. A friend of mine is donating a go-kart that he's had for some quite time in his yard. It was given to him, so he hasn't done nothing with it in like several years. He's donating it to my shop. I know a little bit about it, not super much. From the previous owner, it sat in the guy's field. The wiring harness has been chewed up by rats, from what I understand. I know the frame is pretty rusty, but you never know what parts we could use off of it, or we could possibly replace metal and revive it. So there's no telling at this point what we're going to be getting, but it is a freebie project. We're on our way right now to another friend of mine's house to go pick up his trailer, because mine has a blowed out tire and it's just easier to borrow a trailer today. So finally made it out here. It's raining on us. Like I said, I knew this frame was rusty. I don't know much about it. It has rust. Might be salvageable on the frame. They don't look that bad, except I'm pretty well sure it's probably the frame is broke off in there. You never know. Some reinforcing, some fixing. It might be salvageable. But the motor is also what I was looking after. Oh yeah, the frame is totally shot. Well, that's something we can look into in the future. The question is this motor salvageable? I see the plug wire has been cut. Wiring's chewed up. Who knows? Looks like I had a plug down here for a charger or a maintainer for the battery. We got a radiator up here. Missing the radiator cap. Who knows? Possibly up here. Gas tank. The back half of the frame might be salvageable. We have a tube bender or a pipe bender, so we might be able to just cut, chop, and rebuild part of this frame. Cut all the rotten out. Seats are shot, which is, it's kind of depressing because the seats actually look like they were cool racing seats. Like I said, as far as I knew, it just sat. All the tires, looks like, or most of them are popped off the bead. But you know what? Where some people see junk, I see possibilities. It's got a cool instrument cluster in there. Possibly going to have to replace the key. Speedometer, I doubt is going to be correct. The water temperature gauge. Who knows what the possibilities are. It's free to the shop. We might be able to turn this into something. So, well, we finally got this thing back to my house. We had to end up taking the exhaust off so it would fit on the trailer with the gate up. For the most part, I love this frame. Yeah, some people would look at it and say, okay, this thing is shot, but I see life in it. The majority of what I see is the lower frame is really the worst of the worst. Like this, there is some metal that we're going to replace. Most of it is like rusty, but it's flaky. So I think a lot of it still has a lot of structural rigidity. I mean, it needs work. It's not something that's going to be fun to just crank up and go. So I mean, I'm not even worried about this motor right now. I was looking at the frame. Like this down tube down here, it's shot out on the inside. It's got a rust hole right there you can see through. So I was just talking to my buddy about possibly rebending like this lower section and sleeving it and replacing that. And what it is, there must have been a crossbar that went across here, and that's where those welded up to. That's the rear suspension. So the way I see to fix this is going to be to unbolt the shocks. Maybe use some kind of lift to pull the whole frame upward, install the lower frame and weld that back on and gusset it even, of course, and then when everything is put back together, it should set this rear end up perfect. The motor, we know it's a 250, like a 250 clone. My buddy was telling me it's a 250. It's water cooled. I'm not sure if the motor's free, if we're going to be able to salvage it. But I was joking, I have another buddy who has a 600 sport bike that the motor's worth more than the frame. So we were joking about doing some swip swapping and possibly doing a motor swap. Won't have reverse, but we'll have plenty of torque. So, I mean, we still have a lot of usable parts. But like I told my buddy, he got tired of seeing this thing just sitting there. He has no plans right now to do anything with it. So overall, looking at it, it's set up for four-wheel disc brakes, or it's got discs in the front. I think the rear is like a four-wheeler. It's got a single disc in the rear, but it's basically 4 brakes all the way around. Independent suspension. I mean, it's got a lot of good parts. So I don't know. Overall, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I think I could actually salvage the frame. It's going to take a lot of work, but I've seen worse than this. Of course, we'll have to put a whole new floor pan in. But if it's the basics of just getting it back to a strong, rigid frame and then working from there, I think we can do it. I appreciate my buddy Jason for giving me this project. It's like he said, better somebody do something with it than just sit there. My buddy Mark for helping me load this sucker. You've probably seen in a quick clip, we had to use a chain fall to help get it up on there. I forgot to bring the come along. But this sucker is heavy, and I think the most part, that lower frame dragging up, it was trying to drag against that tailgate. Other than that, it was making it. Well guys, let me know what y'all think. As always, give me a thumbs up on the video if y'all like this project. I'm thinking 600cc sport bike motor. This frame is definitely heavy enough. We can make it rigid enough. We can have some fun. Thank you guys for watching. This is just a little quick video.